An ordinary schoolboy can't even imagine that a serious injury will make him the most dangerous baseball player in the world. Let's find out how to become a real nightmare for professional players. Residents of a small American town gather for a baseball game. The Chicago Caps will be playing at the local Wrigley Field Stadium today. The announcer ironically reminds us that this team has not won a single match for many years. A boy named Henry dreams of becoming a famous baseball player. His mother Mary believes in her son's talent, even though he has been sitting on the bench for a long time. One day, Henry is finally released onto the field, but he still fails to catch a flying ball. Mary advises her son to change his role and become a player who throws the ball, not catches it. Henry understands that this is a good idea. Mary has a boyfriend named Jack. They've been dating for 3 weeks and are going to a restaurant for a romantic date. During school lunch, Henry looks with interest at Becky's pretty classmate. He wants to approach her, but is very shy. In the yard, one of the guys throws Henry a baseball. Our hero wants to catch him and impress Becky, but something goes wrong. He slips and falls, breaking his arm in the process. Henry gets a cast. He will have to wear it for 4 months. Of course, the guy immediately becomes the object of ridicule. When the doctor removes the cast, he notices something very strange. Henry's tendons had healed too tightly. Because of this, his punch became incredibly strong and powerful. Henry and his friends George and Clark go to another Chicago Caps game. Local baseball players are scheduled to play against the visiting Montreal Expos team. The sponsors and coaches of the Chicago Caps are confident that only a miracle will save them. Chicago Caps general manager Larry Fisher wants to find Henry and invite this talented guy to join their team. A sports agent named Sam McMillan comes to visit Henry. He uses radar and realizes that this boy can throw a ball at over 100 miles. Per HR, this is significantly higher than the normal speed for a minor league player. Jack is offered to become Henry's personal manager, sign a contract and receive 10% of the profits. The boy is surrounded by a crowd of journalists on the same day. Mary is very worried about her son. He has to speak at his first press conference and is very nervous. Henry promises to showcase his talents at the next match. George and Clark are very happy for their friend. They escort Henry to his first training session. The boy comes to the locker room of the Chicago Caps players and gets to know his idols. Among them is the legendary pitcher Chet Steadman, nicknamed Rocket. Henry learns that he will be coached by a man named Phil Brickman. He is an ambitious but completely incompetent coach. Henry is shocked that his biggest dream has come true. The Chicago Caps are preparing to play against the New York Mets. Fans of both teams gather in the stands and shout the names of their favorites. Managers and coaches are happy that almost all tickets have been sold. The fact is that everyone wants to see young Henry play. He is already being called the new star of the professional league. The game begins. Henry is sitting on the substitutes bench. Chad Steadman can't get enough points. The Chicago Caps are starting to lose. The managers order the coach to bring Henry onto the field immediately. This is our hero's first game in the big league, and the boy is very scared. From the first throw, he misses a home run from his opponent. But after that, he hits the batter with his sword, makes a great throw, and makes his first save. After this game, Becky invites Henry and his friends to sit at her table. Boys start an awkward conversation. But at this age, it is hard for them to find a common language with girls. Henry, George, and Clark decide to repair an old boat to take their girlfriends for a ride on it. Our hero comes to practice. He finds out that Phil Brickman is a terrible coach. The Chicago Caps begin their match against the San Francisco Giants. Chad gives Henry some valuable advice. Thanks to this, our hero improves his control over his serves and makes another save. He also makes his first strikeout in MLB. His name is being joyfully chanted in the stands. Henry's mom and friends are screaming with delight. This is the Chicago Caps' most successful game of the season. They finally won. In the evening, Henry plays at the stadium with his friends. Mary meets Chad. The man is trying to flirt with her. The Chicago Caps team is heading to an away game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Henry thanks Chad for his advice and help. At the hotel, our hero is provided with a private room with lots of suites. Soon, Henry goes to the game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He annoys his rivals with his small stature and narrow strike zone. The guy gets 4 hits on high pitches, and of course, can't hit them back. Our hero is teasing his opponents at first and second bases. Because of this, the Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher hits the next batter with a sword. Henry and his teammate run and score enough points. The Chicago Caps are winning again. Henry is achieving great success as a pitcher and is becoming very famous. Jack signs a contract with Pepsi on behalf of Henry. Our young hero brings good luck to his team. They haven't had a single loss this season. Henry has to literally run away from the media. He leaves in a taxi with his mom and Chad. After a few cocktails, Mary and Chad develop romantic feelings for each other. They dance together in a nightclub, and Jack gets very jealous. Fisher approaches him and informs him that the New York Yankees team wants to buy Henry for $2.5 million. Jack loves money very much, so he agrees. But he sets another condition for Fisher side. He needs to get rid of Chad Stedman. Henry spends the whole day filming a Pepsi commercial. He has to do a lot of takes. Jack asks Mary to sign Henry's new contract. A woman trusts her boyfriend and does it without even reading anything. George and Clark have been waiting for Henry all day to repair the boat together. The guy arrives too late because he was filming for Pepsi, and his friends are very offended by him. Fisher informs Chad that he wants to terminate his contract with him because he is too bad a player. The man is very disappointed because this is an unfair decision. Jack demands that Henry go to another photo shoot, but the guy refuses because he wants to spend time with friends. Jack boasts that he sold Henry to the New York Yankees. Upon hearing about this, Mary immediately breaks up with this scoundrel and expels him from her house. Henry cancels the filming of another commercial to help George and Clark repair the boat. They ride it and have a great time. The guy understands that real friends are much more important than photo shoots and shootings. Henry invites Becky and her friend to ride with them. The guys are having a lot of fun with this walk. Chicago Caps owner Bob Carson finds out that Fisher has decided to sell Henry to another team. Carson explains that he never agreed to a deal with the Yankees and wants to keep Henry with the Chicago Caps. The guy admits that he will leave his team at the end of the season because baseball is not the most important thing in his life. Chad is also being brought back to the team. On the last day of the season, the Chicago Caps face the New York Mets again at Wrigley Field. Chad enters the field in the starting lineup. If the Chicago Caps beat their rivals, they will win the division and advance to the World Series. Chad is playing his best game in recent years, but he gets a serious arm injury on the last throw. Because of this, he can't throw the last ball to home base, but he still earns another point. Chad admits that he can't keep playing and passes his ball to Henry. At first, the boy easily knocks out all his rivals, but at some point slips on the baseball sword and falls on his strong arm. Due to the powerful impact, she becomes ordinary again. Henry annoys the Chicago Caps and all the fans because he can no longer make his strong serves. He explains to his teammates that he won't bring them victory, but offers a good plan. The boy stealthily passes the ball to another player who takes one of the opponents out of the game. Henry teases the next batter and then throws the ball high and stops when the opponent runs to second base. During the final fight with the strongest attacker, Henry throws a changeup. The opponent misses. The second time, he hits the ball so hard that it goes over the stands and counts as a foul. Henry notices the tape inside his glove and peels it off. He sees his mom's name there. It turns out that she was also a baseball player in her youth. In the stands, Mary signals him to throw the so-called floating ball. The boy does this, and the opponent misses. He immediately becomes hysterical. The Chicago Cubs become division champions and qualify for the World Series. The players and fans celebrate their victory, and Henry throws the winning ball to his mom. The following spring, Henry plays in a children's baseball league with his friends. Mary and Chet are coaching his team. After catching another ball, Henry raises his fist and shows the Chicago Cubs championship ring as a symbol of his victory in the World Series.